So hello traders, welcome back to another episode of how I made, how I lost. So in this episode I'm going to go through how I managed to pass my phase 2 over 300k accounts. So I had 100k account on 4 traders, formerly known as Billions, and I also had 200k with Alpha Capital Group. So last week I managed to pass both challenges, meaning that I'm now headed to the live stage with a 300k account, or I have some extra capital backing me up as I'll be trading. So I'm going to share with you how I managed to do it, the trades that I took, in an effort to be as transparent as possible. We'll keep on sharing these things for you guys to be able to at least understand and learn something from them. We're not saying we have figured out everything, but you can learn at least 1 or 2 things that can be of help to you when you're looking at markets. So I'll start with the Alpha Capital Group because the analytics is not as detailed as the ones on 4 traders. So I'll start with this one, then I'll go to that one. So yes, I started trading this account sometime around the end of February. So you can see it was around the 28th of February, and by the time we got to around 5th of April, I had managed to pass the account. So approximately 6 weeks to generate 5%. So I made about 10k and $46 on top. I had a total of about 22 trades, and only out of these 22 trades, 45 were winners, 45% were winners, and 55% were losers. However, my risk reward ratio was about 1:2, so I was able to deliver the 5% that I'm talking about. Average profit was about 2660, which means a percentage. Largest profit was about $4,600, and the average loss, you can see, was quite small, about $1,200. So if you look at the risk reward relationship there, it makes sense why I'm able to make money from a mathematical standpoint. Because if you do your mathematics, you'll be able to get how I was able to do the 5%. Okay, so if you look at my journal, let's go through my journal to see some of the trades that I had. So you can see I started with one losing position on gold, followed by another losing position on US30. I then had one winner on Euro USD. No, here I had a couple of winners. I think I had Euro USD, GBP USD, and Aussie dollar on this particular day. So you can see I had buys on all those markets. I made about so I had Euro USD, GBP USD, and Nasdaq, actually, to be precise. So I lost one, made money on two, about $8,000, a combination of the 2 positions. I had another losing position on oil. I think this is one highlight of this challenge. I took some positions on oil with an objective of passing the challenge. The trades were quite good. However, because I was really striving to pass the challenge, I went in full throttle. I decided to risk all the gains that I had, and I was up about 2%. So I risked 2% on this position. Ended up moving as high as 8,900. So I was only remaining with about $1,000 to pass the challenge, but ended up losing about $6,000. So instead of going up, I had to come back down. I think back to break even and start all over again. So as you're doing these challenges, you have to be really resilient. You know, it's not a linear curve, it's an exponential curve. You'll have good periods, you'll have bad periods, you'll have times when you're doing well. You also have periods where things are not going as well. So if I go into the next month in March, you can see here I had a couple of win positions. So you can see I had some positions on, so this was the oil. So I had some more trades on euro, I had some gold, I had some pound, I had some Aussie dollar, some pound, gold, Nasdaq, and gold again. So if you look at, and the greens were quite many for this month, but so were the reds. I think I had 2 losing positions and about 6 winning trades. And then comes April, when I had 2 winning trades for the first week, and then I ended up passing the challenge. So this is a milestone for me. When I was starting the year, I had set a goal that I wanted to pass phase 1 and phase 2 of these 2 accounts before the end of Q1. At least I've managed to pass that, and now I'm headed to Q2 with new goals. I'm able to deliver some returns. I'm just looking for about 10% of these accounts for quarter 2, not for 1 month, for quarter 2. So about $30,000 will be enough for quarter 2. That is a good milestone, a good target. I hope I'll be able also to share that milestone with you guys, if I'll be able to attain it, and if I miss it also, I'll be able to explain to you guys what happened and why I missed it. Now if you look at For Traders, which is the next account that I'll go into, and for these accounts, they take quite some time for you to move from the customer verification, which is KYC, to you proving identity, and then for you to get your live account. So I've not yet gotten my live accounts. I passed these challenges last week on Thursday during New York session. So you can see here I still don't have the live account. However, you can see I attained the $5,000. That was the target. You can see I was up about $5,000 and about $2. The reason I'm up sometimes is about $2 or $3 after passing the challenge is because once I'm up, I don't wait for the markets to move to my targets, I just exit. So if you look at this account, here I had a different hit rate to the other account. Here I have a hit rate of about 56.5%. I have about 13 winners and 10 losers, a profit factor of about 1.59. Average winning trade being 1,000, average losing trade being $862. I took almost the same trades, but I think for this account I had some trades which I didn't take on the other account, but I took on this account. So if you want me to go back, you'll see that I also started trading these accounts around the same time, but you can see, like for example, for the other account I started on 28th, but for this one I started on the 27th. So you can see markets, I lost money on the first week, then I made money on the first week of March again, and then I lost money for the following week, then I made money for the other week, but then I lost money, then I made money. So you can see I've developed a week-to-week trading process that allows me to pick two good trades from a week-to-week basis. I'm a swing trader and try to just identify good positions which can make me money during the week. The average holding period for me is about 3 days. So I also managed to pass this one. Those are the trades that I really took. I wish I was able to, here they give you certificates. So if I just share with you my certificates, you'll see that it's a 100K account on this one. So you can see phase 1 unlocked, phase 2 the funded point, and I'm in. So quite an interesting milestone. So I was reviewing my quarter 1. If I was to just share with you guys some of the things that I'm working on, I find looking at the trades that I took to try and learn from them quite useful, but at the same time sometimes I find it quite limiting for the person watching. I think I've realized it's more important for me to share with you guys the aspects of my process rather than just looking at how I'm able to pass some of these challenges. So if I want to share with you guys how I develop systems and what I'm currently working on right now, what I'm really trying to do for you guys to be able to understand how to develop systems yourself. So this is the last thing that I'll look at, and then I'll stop there. We'll catch up in another video. So let me just open it up. Yeah. So anytime before I trade a particular system, I have to take it, or anytime I have an idea around how I can trade, I want to take it through a process of trying to understand how it worked in the past, if there is any data that I can get. Not necessarily as a confirmation that it will work in the future, but just trying to observe the repetitive nature of markets and also the inefficiencies that exist, because I believe if you're trying to make money from any pattern, what you're trying to do is to look for an inefficiency in the markets. You know that most times markets are efficient, but inefficiencies also exist at some point. There are statistical reliable patterns that you can trade. So how do I go about it? I've recently come up with the scientific method as a method to develop systems. I don't know if you guys know about it. You can check it out. So basically the idea behind the scientific method is, what process do scientists use when they're developing ideas that later become probably good innovations or things that end up changing the world. So not necessarily changing the world, but making the world a better place. So you can use that process to also test your trading methods. It has 6 steps. The first one is observations. What are the observations you're making in the market? Then you test those observations and you experiment. You come up with data. You look at the statistics of the data, and then you see if there is any valid idea that you have there. So for example, I tend to be a trend follower, and I've been testing here the scientific method to develop a trend following approach based on quarter levels. So what I'm trying to look at is, can I be able to make money when I'm trading based on quarter levels? And I'm following the philosophy or the principles of trend following, which basically means looking at the overall direction of the market and trying to only buy if we're in a bull market, or trying to only sell if we're in a bear market. So you can see what I'm trying to do is the types. I'm trying to see buying and selling based on breakouts and retests, buying and selling based on a retest of the level, buying and selling Fibonacci pullbacks in line with levels. So what defines a breakout? That's a very important thing for you to first think about. What defines the half point? What pullbacks are you looking for? What is the value of the Dow theory in defining the direction of the trend? What are the fundamental indicators and catalysts to determine the main theme and direction of particular assets? Because I believe behind a trend is a fundamental development. Trends don't change often because of technical developments. They tend to change because the fundamentals have changed or some new perspective has come into the market. So I'm also researching on that. So you can see the first hypothesis I've come up is buying or selling trading assets around the levels of the retest from the half points can offer a profitable edge in the market, especially if trading can be focused on the direction of the trend based on the Dow theory principles on the 4-hour time frame. So I've also done some research on the Dow theory principles on the 4-hour time frame to just observe some statistical things that are repetitive in the market. What tends to happen for us, for example, to experience a reversal? How many waves do we normally get in a typical trend? Just normal things you're trying to learn. You're trying as much as possible to learn the different patterns that exist in the market. So this is how I go about my testing, and then I'll come here now and run through the FXREPLAY to collect data now in line with the ideas that I have. And based on the data I collect, sometimes I proceed with the systems, sometimes I ditch the systems. So it's a very, very important process for traders to understand, and it's one thing that has really, really helped me even as I'm passing these challenges. So I'll stop there for today. Anyone out there doing challenges, I'll also be taking up new challenges. I'm thinking maybe I'll take a month break because I don't have any other challenge going on currently. I have a couple of accounts. I won't really go into the details, but I'll probably take up some extra 300, 500K and also start trading around it sometime this quarter also, probably in June or May, depending on how things will evolve. I just want to first get to the payout to these accounts, and then I can think about taking up the next challenges. So with that said, guys, I think I'll stop there. We'll catch up next time. Peace.